Oh, I like. Hey, controller didn't even go to sleep. I'm about to. Welcome back, everyone. Actually, it was fun. Well, the first game was fun too, if frustrating at times. Very, for me. I got salty during that one. So here we are, all the way out west at Sunfall, the Zero Dawn project facility. Warning for anyone who hasn't played this, spoilers incoming. This is our new game plus. We've been sitting on the main quest, been on hold for a long, long time, and we've been all around the map. We haven't done everything, but we've done a great deal of it, including the DLC. This is our new game plus on Ultra Hard, and we're gonna push ahead, finally, the main story after weeks and weeks, maybe a month or more. Was it February when we were last on the main quest? Hey, boss. Welcome, man. Boss Wick in the house. How's the stream's been? But if you don't know Boss Wick, please check him out on Twitch. So show some J-Love, drop a follow. How you doing, man? McDaniel, to answer your question, before the break, nothing specific planned for the trip. Want to see where the road takes us other than Nashville. Spending a few days with friends, drinks, good food. Drinks and good food sound perfect. Of the places you're going, I've lived in a couple and have family in another one, so yeah, this should be a hell of a trip. Gee, I think that no matter what you think, from the hints the game's provided, the actual reveal is awesome and more intricate than anyone thought. Yeah, so, also, besides the spoiler warning, reminder, even though I've played the game before, and you may have played the game before, please don't spoil anything that's coming up, because it is that awesome, and everybody deserves a chance to see it revealed properly, unfold slowly, carefully. I don't know how well I can recap the whole story up to this point, if anyone needs it, but if anyone's completely lost, and you want to get some help with that, please share. We can all do something about that. You could give someone a recap if you need it before we go in and under. Scugs, why did you pour coffee and or beer into your computer? You spent so long trying to fix it. Well, damn. Got me. Momentary lapse of reason. Thought it needed a pick-me-up. Had a hard day. Just pouring one out. It was good. Good, it needed beer. But it needs a little beer now and then. Computers need beer as well. Boss, getting ready to lay down, you'll lurk away. Boss, how many hours are you streaming these days? Just ballpark it. It looks like, and I know I haven't been in anyone's stream, so blanket apology to everyone that I am such a shitty community member these days. A lot of that happened years ago when I ended up on this side of the mic, but lately I've been awful. I just haven't been in anyone's stream, so I am sorry. But I see that they're going on, and in all my madness, it looks like you've been streaming a lot, though. I mean, like, a lot. Life stuff happens. Yeah, you could say that again. So we're outside Project Zero Dawn. Silence has already told us this is a point of no return. This is not much of a summary right here, but Aloy explores the ancient ruins beneath the Citadel and unravels the unbelievable truth of Project Zero Dawn. It is, if not unbelievable, at least tragic and awesome. Hundreds of years ago, man losing control of the earth to machines, their own creation. Damn you, Ted Faro! We don't know everything. Oh no. Machines that were built to serve.
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure, as year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the Earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan.
Oh, damn, Spider. Welcome, man.
Genetic profile
Really good to see
confirmed.
you.
Entry authorized. Malfunction. Malfunction.
Thank you.
Malfunction.
Are you
Malfunction.
kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Snowback here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
Aloy's come a long way since her first talking door.
I underestimated you. So by now,
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
So much to learn. No silence, there's plenty of time. Yay! Project Zero Dawn. Hey, man. Spider. What's happening? You snuck in a couple minutes ago. You may have heard me. I have not been in anyone's streams. So, when I say it's good to see you streaming again, that may sound weird. But I've seen you on in the mornings. I've seen that you have been on in the mornings. And this pleases me, even in my madness and absence. How are you, man? You must be getting something. You must be getting something out of Eve. If you're still on it, right? It is Eve you're playing, isn't it? You love Silence, voice actor? You've seen him in some shows or films? You watch Fringe, by chance? Elite. My bad. My bad. Okay. Elite. All right. Expensive ships. You were playing with expensive ships one way or another. As I said, I haven't really been watching much of anything. Fringe was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
Entrance hall. Have a look around. Oh, we will. We will. He says there's not much time, but we're gonna take ours. Another incident. I want every juicy bit of lore. Before I run my mouth and say too much and get ahead of the lore, I'll let the game tell its own tale. There is a lot of lore in here, so be ready. Do I have water, cough drops, and stuff? You're up. Damn, that's what you've been doing. 1,800 hours. Kind of know what you're doing. Very daunting to start, but 1,800 hours in, you must be something of a vet now, feeling like it. Okay, from lounge staff to admin. Subject, another incident. This morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators, fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, for example, and dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond. You need one of those throat misters? A throat mister. Wait, what's a throat mister? I do have cough drops. I'll be alright. I want to recap more, but I'm worried I'll go a step too far. I think I'm safe. We already climbed. We went to Faro Industries. We climbed up. We had holographs of Sobek and Ted Faro. So we know that Ted Faro, the richest man in the world, who ran the largest multinational corporation in the world, was making machines. All kinds of machines, useful in every segment of life. But more and more, his military machines were the company's bread and butter. And his machines, some of his more advanced machines, the military ones, worried about going too far here. I think it's safe to say they killed everyone. Why did they kill everyone? There may have been a flaw in their code, and it may or may not have been a human oversight.
For the trail.
The machines may or may not have been programmed to sustain themselves in absence of proper fuel sources by consuming biomatter in emergencies. Well, that was a brilliant idea. They consumed the biomatter. From reception staff to admin, we need support too. I'll keep going with that as we walk through this best I can. Reception staff continues to require additional support managing ZD candidates when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused. Some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The Langbots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these mails? So, as the Faro robots overleveled past 60. And well, we are in extra levels here. We're on our New Game Plus, working our way into some of the later story. We are under Sunfall in Project Zero Dawn. Just talking a bit about recapping stuff too, for people who may not have heard the story up to this point. I'm trying not to go too far. I don't want to spoil anything that we haven't heard yet. But the Faro robots, Ted Faro's robots, which made him so much money, did begin to go out of control. He saw that. He knew they were going out of control. He knew it was a mess. He knew it was bad. He knew it was his fault. But he had no idea how bad it was going to be. And that's where Elizabeth Sobek came in. Just about the smartest person in the world. Was alive at the time. She figured out just how bad it was going to be. How bad? That bad. Everybody was going to die. Not might. Not maybe. If only we do this. No, everybody was dead. Miguel, I am not recapping for you. I am recapping already for anyone
Please take a
who's
seat
interested.
and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
Because we've been away from the main story for about a month. Some people have joined. I have no idea what's going on. At all. Anyways, Elizabeth Sobek told Ted that he fucked up and his robots were going to kill everyone. All of humankind was going to be gone very, very quickly. She had a plan. He did not figure out how to save mankind from extinction. The only thing she could figure out was how to bring it back. And I'll stop there for now. Because only now have we arrived at Project Zero Dawn. Soundproofing. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation. The ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought.
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an
Thank you.
important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
So we've been to U.S. Robot Command. U.S. Robot Command, which was... Can I look at the world map still? Can't get out to the world map. Wait, we can. We can just go all the way up to the surface levels. Am I blocking your floor? Up. U.S. Robot Command, the Grave Horde. We learned a great deal there. We learned that the military was fighting to buy time for Project Zero Dawn. And we learned that it was hopeless. At the Grave Horde, we learned that the top brass in the military knew that everyone they were sending into battle was going to die. They stood no chance. No chance of surviving, no chance of victory, no chance of stalemate. An Operation Enduring Victory? Well, it was only to buy time. And it was a sacrifice. And they knew it. Meanwhile, people were being gathered up for Project Zero Dawn. Elizabeth Sobek blackmailed Ted Faro, shamed and blackmailed Ted Faro, whose fucking robots caused this mess, into paying for all of this. The richest man in the world, the biggest, wealthiest multinational corporation in the world, is funding the most secret, desperate project. But if it has no chance to save mankind from extinction, then what the hell is it? Meanwhile, everyone else was fighting to the death. Many of them thinking they had a chance. And only a few knowing the truth. That they were already dead. Restock or else. Yeah, we're still in the waiting area. For the 5th time, please restock the lounge's selection of herbal teas. I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of the organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage variants. I'm going to lose it. Please respond, and this time, no tempest in a teapot or steep demand jokes, please. Please, okay? Lounge staff. So another thing you heard Aloy mention on the way in, called herself Elizabeth Sobek. The door would not give her access. Well, she knows that there's something. Is she a descendant? A clone? She wouldn't know what a clone was. But she knows there's something, there's some connection she has with this Elizabeth Sobek, who lived a long time ago. Because all the machines, rather, all the facilities seem to recognize her, even though she was raised in a Nora tribe.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Whole place is a giant lore dump.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating, waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day, the day that life on Earth ceases to exist, is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
Well, clearly
He
not,
said it could
Aloy.
be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
So, in a weird way, Aloy already knew some of that, not the details. And I just ran through a bunch of that right before he said it. But we did hear it before. We heard it in less detail. Elizabeth Sobek in holographic form told Ted there was no way to stop his machines. I know, he said, I know. Well, Ted's a moron. And he's a dick. And he's been dead for hundreds of years. But anyways, Ted's fault. Blame Ted. But there was our first clear explanation of just how bad it was gonna be.
Kestrels.
With
They got it.
diagrams.
Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
Aloy, what are you doing? Come on now. You're talking to a bot. bot with mod powers. Huh? This is a self-proclaimed demonic bot. Yeah. What?
Might have a man down.
You might. Why don't you come around and check?
Losing blood.
Yes, you are. Oh! Way to not die in one hit.
Give me a hit. Bleed before you die.
Oh, shit!
We're too close to the tribe of primitives stop us now. The data points. What
He
do
was
they
hardy. He was hardy. Tough! Alright, we're taking his gun. Yeah, let's not waste any healing resources. Let's use our chieftain gear for a minute. Whoa! She found a hole. Is there really a deep spot? Did you see her swim? What the hell?
This'll do.
He fell in a hole. Found a spot to swim for a minute. Interview, Suzanne Alpert.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
nothing the General said. Not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
Yeah, you better. It's gear. Counselor guidelines. For debriefing after presentation 1. That audio clip we just heard, and we're going to hear a lot more. People are being initiated. It's their initiation at Project Zero Dawn. They're getting here and they don't know what it is. You'll hear a lot more about why they're here without knowing what they're here for. Candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. As people are freaked out, it is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague, thanks Ted, and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly, but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm, Addendum B1, and unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures, Addenda C1, 2, 3, so that you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are data corrupted. You can see the markers on our compass. This whole place is a lore dump. We're still in the entry.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we could negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
Goodness.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Yes. So there, someone who thought they were coming here. They didn't know what, but they thought they were coming here with their expertise to work on a possible code-breaking project. The Pharaoh Plague, the Pharaoh robots, thanks Ted. The Pharaoh Plague was out of control, and if someone could break the codes, the whole thing could be shut down like that. Well, no codes were going to be broken, but some of the people coming here just had to wonder what mankind's salvation would look like. They knew they were coming to work on the only hope for mankind. They didn't realize what the hell it really was. Tom
Is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people. They feed off them.
Not just people, all organic matter.
Every
Biomatter.
living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life produced a bloody biofuel.
In a word,
Yeah.
yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor.
Please, tell him Tom Pake wants a word. Now, get off! Get off!
Nurse?
You get Ted Pharaoh in
Nurse
here!
Akoma! Give him the sedative! Travis Tate. These are good.
Want to discuss?
These are good.
So Mama, she was right.
Travis.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious.
What
Not
about
just
Travis?
Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just
Let's go.
go.
Travis Tate. Yeah, he's a wild one. We're gonna hear more about Travis. Forgot about him. Brad Andag, formerly of Pharaoh Automated
Who
Solutions.
previously worked for Pharaoh
That's
Automated
what I said.
Systems.
On the chariot line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time.
I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since,
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Only Misbehave? You're the only one? Well, Misbehave is the rock star, the only one who made it through. Meanwhile, the wormhole needs a, we all blacked out together. It's alright. Oh, starving for air. Exclamation mark at the beginning of the command, but you can see what other people are typing. We also need to have some Stardust, which you may not have that much yet. You're getting some just being here, but anyways, interview Dr. Suve.
I think there is some mistake. I don't understand why I was brought here. Why would you show me these things?
I know that there's already a lot to take in.
In the waiting area, I was seated with a Nobel laureate in biophysics and a monk, I think. He spoke neither English nor Mandarin. It is very strange. And General Harris? What was he talking about? The robot swarm, the Pharaoh plague? I understand it is terrible, but it really cannot be stopped? Why tell us this? There are people in Shanghai, my friends, my family. They have joined Operation Enduring Victory already. It is for nothing? We will all die?
We're going to be able to answer some of these questions.
I just want to know why I am here. It doesn't make sense to me.
You were brought here because of your skill set.
No, that can't be right. I am an art historian. I know Dutch masters, Japanese calligraphy, Gerhard Richter. What does that matter now?
Ron Felder.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since 57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So
Ron.
even if you do it,
Ron.
even if you build
Ron.
a candidate Sirius X, there's no room for people on
Ron,
that thing.
you're not here for that. Calm
If you
down.
could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this
Ron,
ride. No one's
get us a
getting off.
sedative.
Medical.
Medical. Give him the sedative.
My turn.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
I'm gonna carry this heavy weapon and then have to drop it somewhere before we get
You've
to
heard
use
the
it.
bad news, and it's all true.
Hi,
The
Liz.
Pharaoh plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere.
An entire
An
biosphere
immortal
from
guardian,
scratch.
devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stocks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
So, the whole Earth was destroyed, but then remade?
Well, that was the plan, Aloy.
By a machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how did it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
Yeah.
And Hephaestus, taking over Cyan. I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
Interesting. Hephaestus, Cyan, getting a mention there. Central projects. Yeah, this fire striker, I'm gonna drag it around until we finally have to climb a ladder or something, and then I'll leave it behind. I'll feel really silly for having dragged it this far. Again, because I probably did it last time. Played this. It may look like I've missed something. We're not necessarily finding these in order. I'm pretty sure this one shows up later. Big memory of going, where the hell's the first one? Oh no, we missed it. It shows up later. Yeah. I think so. Slightly. So as the scientists who are going to work on Project Zero Dawn brought through their initiation, they find out more and more. You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this time. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice, because you're not getting out. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult, and the project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Indefinite detention is option number 2. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released into a world overcome by ravenous machines. Have fun with that. Option 3, medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you are ready to make your choice, or if you have further questions. If you haven't put 2 and 2 together from the earlier audio logs, scientists have been abducted from around the world because they had the skills. They weren't asked to come, they were taken. Then they were told, then they were given a choice. But they're not going out. They're not going back. Zero Dawn was a one-way ticket for everyone. Interview 2, Brad Andak.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
You worked for Pharaoh.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. Isn't it just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom?
Makes you wonder.
I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard, to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
Counselor guidelines, number 2. Oops. KG, bedtime for you. Good night, everyone. Good night, KG. Spelling, please. Yay! Sweet dreams. On the other side. For debriefing after presentation 2. It is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly, without additional coercion and without value judgment on the part of the counselor. Confirm for candidates that they were selected due to their skill sets and accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chances of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection, validate such objections as normal, even admirable responses, emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just of humanity, but terrestrial life as a whole. Likewise, candidates may balk at the morality of extending their lifespans and those of loved ones beyond 0 day. Validate their hesitation. Acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect their ethical misgivings towards greater commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish and allow access to supplemental articles P01 through P20. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process this documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It's important to receive this decision kindly and without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period during which counselors will be available to discuss their decision. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeated consent when the procedure is scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against her or his will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to reverse their decision, after which the decision data is corrupted. Corrupted, there's a lot of information in about. So a lot of these compass markers, they're gonna guide me to the lore. I don't want to miss any. There are those mushrooms I was talking about. The cauldrons have plenty of heals. As you work your way down, if you go in like I did, sort of unprepared, they tend to give you a lot. Pick up on the way. Interview 2, Suzanne Alpert, Environmental Reclamation.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timo. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You'd grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
Recording cut off. So you heard about the protocol, and then you heard an example. Not everyone wanted to participate. It was all about the math. At best, they would succeed in a plan that would let them live out their lives in a hole in the ground, knowing that everyone else was dead. Not everyone was up for that. Interview 2, Ron Felder, PhD in Aerospace Engineering.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
Security, for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure.
Alert.
I'll tell you.
Medical wing
Surprised.
inaccessible.
No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. This kind of blue skying, it's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
Didn't you get the memo?
That's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What are you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
I don't think he read his TPS reports. In shackles. It's kind of a strange... Is there anything significant about those? There. Where we actually proceed and climb, because I didn't check the door back by where I left the fire striker. Weird spot. There's really nothing here. Okay. Told you we'll be carrying this thing until we can't, and we'll probably reach a point where we can't before we reach a point where we can use it. Unless...
Intruder! Get her!
Whatever you do, don't...
Blood Wolf, what's up? Something tells me the kind lasted an angel and violently. Maybe. Yeah. All right then. I got to use it. Wolf. Doing alright. How goes? Take the slow regen. Costs nothing. Christina Zuve. Log.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair, not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
Ah, Miss Misery, now you have to go watch that movie. I am just about that way with that movie. About anything reminds me of that movie and demands be seen. Give me the cash. Give me the cash. Tom Pake.
I hashed it out with them, what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to
silence.
take a best
Quiet.
interest in this stuff.
Not now.
But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want
Message
no
for you,
part of
Commander.
this
Just came in over a secure channel.
attenuated future on offer.
Brotherly
I'm an
love.
outdoors man.
Brother.
Never did like the feel of solid state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe anyway.
Brother, thank you. Thank you, man, for your sub. For your support. Yeah. Are you off? Have you been off watching the marathon? I bet some. Yeah. They gave us a lot of supplies
Forget
here.
about traveling light.
They hooked us up. Yep. Yep. All right. See, they're must be up to Phantom Pain. I caught a glimpse of Ground Zeroes. That they were playing Ground Zeroes earlier. What did he come up with? Or Travis. Can't get enough Travis.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural it'd be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
That's his actual plan. Sure, I'll help you with Project Zero Dawn, and then I get to spend the rest of my life watching porn? Yeah! So, everybody give Travis a hand. He's a man with the plan.
Now this thing is dangerous.
Enseñamos! Oh, nice. Can't unhear it. Yeah, that sounds like TRK.
Here we go. Another one of these. Need to find the right configuration.
This... Okay, is this where Travis or someone was messing with the locks? No? Left up, left down, right.
Done. I should check the door nearby.
Glad we got to use the other fire striker, because here's that ladder. A ladder. Point of no return for a heavy weapon. Point of no progress. Wait, this is where we just came up. Never mind. Came through.
I'll tuck that away.
Back here.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Everything's in reverse. As settings transposed, error detected, settings transposed. Things in reverse.
Maybe there's a storage area nearby.
So, I remember we had a back and forth about this before. Besides the power cell we need to find, which reverse are they talking about? Meaning up is down and left is right? Or is the order... Oh, I see. Okay, this is probably what I missed before. You see how it's upside down? Pharaoh down there? That's what's up. So we actually read it down, left, up, right, down. That's... I missed the words before, and I think I did, I went ahead and did down, right, up, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Say about looking for a power cell. Okay, we got this door open, right? Well, that's when we came around and climbed the ladder. Get another. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just having a moment. Pretty sure we need to go find a power cell. Restore power to the door. Yeah. Anything else we need to do to restore power? Let's go follow the wires. See. That's the door we're trying to open. Scratch that. Okay. What else did we have to work with? Anybody remembers what we're looking for? It's okay to say too, because I may stumble around for a bit yet. Upper level, we were up there. I didn't see anything up there. There. Emitter. Hololock. A power cell, but a hololock. Back to the ladder.
Found one.
It's right there. It
Looks
just
intact.
okay. Maybe she didn't know she needed it yet.
That should do the trick.
Okay, so it's upside down and it needs to go down, right, It's just upside down. I shouldn't also flip them. Don't flip them twice. Don't flip them twice, Jay. Down, left, up, right, down. Unless it's everything. Are they further transposed? Down, left, up, right, down. And if that doesn't work, we'll go with the other.
That did it.
It did it.
They
Okay.
should have power.
Now to see
Always a
what lies
risk
beyond it.
of overthinking things. Think things. Enter central projects. Oh, but your heavy weapons back there.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Really?
Gaia.
I can't.
It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact. Helpful.
Someone here?
No. No one here. No one here. No one here. No one here.
Yow!
Told you. No one here. See? Not there. It's your imagination. Afternoon. Right trigger. Hey.
By the sun!
By the sun! You're dead. By the sun.
Lost them! This will go a lot faster if you just come out.
That's probably true. You know, you're right. Silent strike gun. Screwed! Come on, Aloy! Don't let him do that. That'll do. Is this a pop spawn? Did they jump down from above or did they just appear? Can I climb up on this? That would be awesome if I could. Yeah, oh, we can. We're gonna get this. I want it. I want to get up here and this! That's... Ha!
Here we are!
Wait, tell. On him or not?
Hide all you want. It won't help.
Whoa! Yeah, you too. Hide all you want. It won't help. Shit, he lived through that. Sticky bomb on his forehead.
Just had you.
I missed him. But what are you doing? Are you coming through this door right here next to me? What the hell? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Bad idea. Don't do that.
For a moment, anyway.
For a moment.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
They didn't listen.
Alert. Area inaccessible. Elevators non-operational. Stairwells have collapsed.
Simulation results. Time check. We started late. I think we're just gonna run late because I really don't want to stop in the middle of this quest in the middle of the facility, but we have a ways to go. I don't remember. We may be here long enough that I change my mind and say, all right, we're gonna stop here, but for now, we're gonna keep going instead of wrapping. Just let everyone know we're not about to stop. We're right in the middle of it. Just warming up on all the good stuff that they've put here for us. From Margot Shen to Elizabeth Sobek. Subject simulation results. Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional. They feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind. As though she's already mourning their loss. And not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record, too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks of, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Margot. Hello, gamer. During Project Zero Dawn, getting a lore dump. Full steam ahead. From Elizabeth Sobek to Margot. I doubted your brilliance in the slightest. I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. Need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail. Consult with Iomide Okilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Elizabeth. Gonna come up a lot more. You keep hearing that. We've heard it a number of times already. The towers, the deactivation codes. Of course, we know they've given up on trying to hack the deactivation codes for the Pharaoh Swarm. Killing everyone. They weren't even trying to do that. Holo projector.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it. If Hephaestus was part of a system designed to save life, why would it use cyan to make a cauldron? And churn out machines with no other purpose than to kill people?
Somehow it's gone rogue. I don't understand why or how. But whatever the reason, it explains why machines have become more dangerous over the years.
Deathbringer.
I'll take this.
Okay, can't go anywhere in here, can we? Back this way. Huh? Really? So, up a level. What about the door back? Okay. It's not like I know my way around the project facility. But, back in the fire room. Oh, that's where we came through. I got turned around. That's the door we came through. Alright. We don't want to go back that way. We came from that way. I was turned around on the map. What's the other stair? That stair's the one nearby. Mushrooms respawning really quickly. I feel like they are. Great, because we need it. That's the shock guy. Shock traps. Can't just navigate in that direction. Probably need to get up to the second level to go that way. Maps are hard, okay? Cool. For me, sometimes. I like a good map. One's not bad. The overworld map is fantastic. And actually, it's a pretty good map overall. Bad map? BioShock 1. That's a bad map. I shouldn't complain about this. Game has a great map. Even if it confuses me. Sometimes. Do. We need to get in. Johnny Rad, good night all. Thanks, Jay. Cheers, Johnny. You have a good night. Rest of your weekend. Get you on the other side.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office.
There's good stuff in here.
It's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
More Eclipse.
Careful now.
She can't be far. We'll find her.
Jeez. This is send us on a long loop, why don't you?
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Future humans will commune with their progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
That's really up there on the list of super annoying game quirks. When you have important dialogue that gets overlapped with other important dialogue and overlapped with other important dialogue. Kept you waiting, huh? Ty, man, thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you for your support, man. Keeping the lights on. Yeah.